Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
This is the Channel 4 News First Look at 5 with Bob Mayer, Kelly Craig, Brian Norcross, weather, and the Channel 4 News Team.
Good evening. Love him or hate him, Orlando Bosch is tonight released from prison. The U.S. government, which calls Bosch a terrorist, has agreed to a tough parole. Channel 4 News has big story coverage tonight. Reaction from South Florida's diverse community. We begin with exclusive pictures and Channel 4 reporter Marianne Murciano, who was there for the Bosch reunion.
Kelly, we're standing outside the very heavily guarded house right now where Orlando Bosch will make his home. You can just imagine what Bosch's family felt like when they saw him walking through the door, but you don't have to. These were the very first moments. There were cheers, and there were tears. This was the inside of the Bosch home this afternoon when he first walked through the door. After all the celebrations, this is going to be his world inside here. Bosch's family had a hard time believing this day would come. They say they were told hell would freeze over first. Today, it did. ¿Y cómo se siente? The 63-year-old man didn't have much to say except that he felt good. That is, until he got this big squeeze. The frail man obviously isn't as strong as he used to be. This afternoon, Bosch looked with bewilderment at his paintings on the wall. Oil paintings like these helped the family survive financially during all the years he spent in jail.
I haven't hugged my father out of prison in 17 years.
A familiar tune rang loud and clear before they closed their doors, the Cuban national anthem. And on that note, I leave you with my colleague Bonnie Anderson, who's going to tell us about how the federal government plans to keep an eye on Bosch. Bonnie?
Marianne, neither the federal government nor the Bushes are giving out very many details about his parole agreement, but Bosch did come out and talk to us just a few moments ago, and he did say, until I am in my country, I'll never be free. One thing is certain, until that happens, and as long as he's here, he will be under the watchful eye of federal agents and their computers. Orlando Bosch was truly a free man for just a short while today. From the moment he was released from the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Southwest Dade until he arrived home, he was accompanied only by one of his attorneys. But 5 minutes later, federal agents arrived with the electronic equipment that will keep tabs on Bosch indefinitely. The main element, a black box-shaped transmitter strapped to an ankle. If it's tampered with, a device immediately activates to let authorities know. The wireless transmitter works by sending a signal to Bosch's telephones, including one in the bathroom. They, by the way, are monitored too. And if Bosch wanders further than 150 feet away, the signal is broken and authorities know Bosch has violated his parole conditions. They would then try to make contact with him, and if that fails, U.S. Marshals would be dispatched to find him and return him not to home, but back to prison. Now, federal officials are monitoring some 40 other prisoners using devices like this. And while Bosch will be spending most of his time here in this home, we have learned that he's been given special permission to go out to dinner tonight. And right before that, he will be holding a press conference in Coconut Grove. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Bonnie, thanks very much. Ed?